Hey everybody, Stephanie with the Machine Gun Nest here with our newest legal update. And we have a lot to share. First thing I want to talk about is that a U.S. district judge has issued a nationwide injunction against allowing the enforcement of the pistol brace ban to continue. So previously, if you were a member of Gun Owners of America, of Firearms Policy Coalition, you were covered under an injunction restricting the ATF's enforcement of a pistol brace ban against you, but now the judge has brought it nationwide. So some quick things about this that are super important. So previously, while all of this was happening, the ATF said, hey, we're going to grant you some kind of amnesty, and we're going to allow you to register your firearm as an SBR, as a short-barreled rifle, and we'll give you a free tax stamp. And as we know, if you take the shekels, you wear the shackles. So no thank you to your free tax stamp, because right now you can't remove that. It is, once you register it as an SBR, it remains an SBR, and that prevents you from moving that firearm across state lines without permission from the ATF. So kudos to everybody who was protected under that injunction prior and who refused to comply with this nonsense. But right now, if you have a pistol brace, you can go ahead, put that back on your firearm, and you are covered for the time being. Now, we've always known that the creation of this rule is illegal because the ATF's going to do what they always do, and that is create their own rules, which is effectively legislating going around Congress, and that's not okay, and we can't stand for it. The judge said that this is also illegal because the definition of a short-barreled rifle is that the stock must be actually designed to shoulder that firearm. Just because something can be shouldered doesn't mean that it's a stock. So we're going to keep you updated as more progresses on this. So, all right, next let's hop on over to the Fifth Circuit, and this is Vanderstock v. Garland, and this is involving ghost guns. And I just have to read to you some of the quotes from the wonderful, honorable Judge Kurt D. Engelhardt. And he said, the ATF, in promulgating its final rule, attempted to take on the mantle of Congress to do something with respect to gun control. But it is not the province of an executive agency to write laws for our nation. That vital duty, for better or for worse, lies solely with the legislature. He said the ATF must operate within the statutory text's limits until Congress acts. The final rule impermissibly exceeds those limits, such that ATF has essentially rewritten the law. So all of that means this: when the ATF decides to create rules, they are exceeding their authority. So because we are a constitutional republic, we have elected officials that enact law that reflect the will of the people. But when we have a federal law enforcement agency creating law, that is just tyrannical on its face. So it's encouraging to see that we have great judges doing their work and who are shutting this nonsense down. So next we have good old Steve Dettlebach at it again. So he recently was at a discussion at Harvard University, and he has totally, as we have predicted, reneged on everything that he said. Now, Steve Dettlebach was appointed by the Biden administration to be the director of the ATF. This is not an elected position. And so what's alarming about him being here in the first place is that he is there to enact an agenda. Now, during his confirmation hearings, he said that he would just enforce the existing law and that he wasn't interested in introducing anything else. But he's totally gone back on his word and has been quoted saying that he does seek a federal assault weapons ban. Now, what's interesting is that you might remember in a prior video that Steve has said himself he couldn't even define what an assault weapon is. So this should be alarming to everybody that we have a director of a federal law enforcement agency seeking to enact a ban on something he is unable to even define. Again, if that's not tyranny, then gosh, I sure don't know what is. So we're going to keep you updated as these things develop. Stay plugged in, and we will see you at the range.